Morning, guys. Yeah, I watched something today interesting. It's Sunday, it's about 7:30 in the morning, and I decided that, sometimes instead of spending a lot of time preparing for a video, it's better to do it when you're inspired. So, had a really cool week, interesting week. My wife's been gone for a couple of days. She's been taking care of her mom, which is the reality of when you have aging parents. And I'm not going to get into details, but too much. But I'll put it to you this way: it was tough on her and her sister and her brothers, especially her and her sister. They had to get her mom over to the hospital, get some things checked out, but it all worked out. So she got these tests done. She's got a minor heart condition. She's going to get treatment. It's good. So everything's good. My wife's going to need today to recover. I'm glad she's home. I missed her. She's my partner in life, so I'm glad she's back. And I watched I think what inspired me this morning was I watched a video from a guy that I like a lot. It's Rob the Maritimer. He's on YouTube. If you guys want to watch a good video, watch Rob. He's a nice guy. He speaks from the heart. I like his style. He's honest. He's honest. And that is part of the reason that I'm inspired this morning, so thank you, Rob, is that really, you could spend your whole lifetime on YouTube watching all these videos. I'm not doing these videos and changing anything and trying to figure out the algorithm of YouTube or anything like that. So that's not going to happen. My videos are going to be honest. I want the content to have some meaning. So if you haven't watched my videos before, my name is John, and I'm 70 years old. Was retired. I'm working now. I drive a school bus in the town that I live in. I'm a full-time route driver, so I drive kids from the ages of preschool all the way up to seniors in high school. So I have approximately 75 kids that I drive the bus for. 2 routes, same kids, same routes every day. It's great. I work for a small school district in mid-Michigan, and it's great. And this is the school district that my son went to. So I've got 3 kids. My youngest is 27, and then I have a daughter that's 35 and another daughter that's 39. So, and let's see, there's so many things to cover this morning. I guess part of it is that if you watch the last video I did, it's titled, I Have 75 Grandchildren. So I know that's like, yeah, does this guy really have 75 grandchildren? No, I don't have 75 grandchildren. But I have 75 grandchildren on the bus. And it really feels that way. I've been driving the same kids, most of the same kids, for 3 years. And like I say, if you watch that video, you'll see that the amount of time that I'm with those kids, I've gotten to know them pretty well. And it's having an impact on my life in a positive way. So, and my goal right now, a big part of my life, is that job of driving the bus. I love these kids, as a bus driver would. It's funny because, let's start out. We had a meeting the other day. Our boss, who's great, she's got a heck of a job. I give her a lot of credit. I call her boss with all due respect. She deserves the respect. So I say that because she's a great boss. I want to have a boss, and that's part of why I work where I work. It's not only that I work in a small school district, a great school district. That's why my wife and I moved to this area, because we wanted our son to be in the good schools, because I'm a believer in that the schools make a big difference. But I love the fact that I work for a smaller school district with a smaller number of buses. We have 12 routes, so we do have a few changes going on. We have a driver, girl that drove next to me, same age as my daughter, she's about 35. She is now moving on to a career in medical industry. I'm going to miss her. Her name is Kelly. Kelly, the best for you. You're going to do great. She's a mom. She's got a couple kids. Her kids are on my bus. She's got nice kids. She's raising them correctly. And you can see it. It turns out good. She's tough on them the way I was tough on my kids. She loves them, and that's why she's hammering on them, man. Just tell them to do the right thing, and you can see it. It shows. So, good job, Kelly. You're going to do great. I'll keep an eye on your kids when they're on my bus. So, I talked about situation on my bus where I had, some disciplinary things, and I had another thing come up this week, and I wanted to share it with you because it's really important. Whether you have kids on a bus, whether you have grandkids on a bus, you've probably been on a school bus in your life, but it's more than just the school bus. It's life. It's what goes on. So let me explain what happened. Is I have these younger kids, and I'm going to say second, third graders, fourth graders, that area of younger kids, girls, and I had a situation where one of the girls was acting up, and on the bus, food, pop, gum, those things are not allowed. The kids can have their water bottle with water in it, and that's a school policy. And the reason is, of course, kids always ask me, why can't you have gum? Well, it's a choking hazard. In fact, last year our boss was explaining that one of the kids had a big old gob of gum in their mouth, and it actually got stuck in their throat, and one of the bus drivers had to do the Heimlich maneuver to the kid was choking to death. It also has to do with food allergies, and it also has to do with the fact that a lot of times the gum ends up on the floor. And I've explained this to the kids. I said, then Mr. John, that's what they address me on the bus, has to clean that up. So it's a mess. We don't allow it. I had this kid that was chewing gum, and one of the other kids, and kids will do this on a bus, they're going to rat each other out. It's just how it works. It's actually kind of handy for a bus driver, but they're going to say, oh, Jimmy's got gum, and then I can look over there, and the kids are pretty stealthy. They'll pretend like they're not chewing the gum, or they'll quickly swallow the gum. But my central theme has been that whether it's the chewing of the gum, or it's not sitting in your seat when you should be when the bus is moving, or it's not keeping your feet out of the aisle, which is a tripping hazard, which is very important if we're going to have an emergency evacuation, or it's invading someone else's space by touching their stuff, their backpack, or touching them. They have personal space. This is what I'm trying to teach these kids, and it's super important. As I stated in my previous video, I'm teaching the kids, giving them the ability so that when they're adults, or even young adults, they can go on a public bus or go out in the public and go to Starbucks, go to a restaurant, get on a public bus, be with others, and know how to respect the rights of other people. So, and follow rules. But there's actually something that's actually much more important than that. When I find these kids are breaking the rules, I'm explaining to them that coming clean, being honest, being accountable. Accountable, meaning you're willing to admit that you made a mistake and be honest about it is most important. So this particular girl was kind of hiding and saying that she wasn't, and I knew. And it got pretty intense because I wrote the girl up. We have a system where there's written forms, and these kids do things wrong. They get written up, and I write in detail what they do wrong. And I turn it into my boss. It goes over to the school, so if they're grade school kids, it goes to their school. And I think it goes either to the counseling department or the principal. They call the kid in, talk to him about it. The parents get notified. They also have to sign the form. And if you get written up 3 times, then you can get kicked off the bus. And I don't know if it's for a matter of days or a week at a time. This incident that I talked about on the previous video, we had a very serious offense from a repeat offender. He's permanently off the bus, permanently for life. So that was an extreme case. It's the first time I've had that. I've been driving a bus, school bus, for 3 years now. So I can honestly say that I have experience. I love working with kids. I do have experience with kids. I've raised 3 of my own kids, my wife and I together, so I know that. I also used to teach catechism through our church. So, and I do it because I love kids. I think they're great. They're us, but they're younger. They're like young plants. You know, you gotta train them in a good way, influence them. So, anyways, that's my mission, and it's very important to me. It gives me lots of satisfaction. But I do it not to boast my own ego or anything like that. I do it because it's what I believe in. And with this little girl, it was interesting because the parents are super nice, super friendly towards me. You can tell I meet probably half of the parents that especially with the little kids, mainly, they're usually at the bus stop. So they want to see, I did with my kids, I want to see this person that's going to take my kid and drive the bus and meet them so that, you know, so they're at the bus. Many of the parents are very respectful. They thank me, they say good morning to me. It's great. I live in a small community. I live right on the road where my bus route is for the small kids. So a lot of these people are my neighbors. I know, because of my age, I know the kids' grandparents. And again, I've lived in this area for 22 years. So when you're in a small place, you've been in the same spot for all these years, you know, and I like to, it's a very friendly community, very open. So anyways, everything is going good. This little girl got written up. She didn't like it. There was some interaction with another student, and the parent did what all parents do. They get involved, they amplify everything. This is perfectly normal. It's your kid, you're going to defend your kid. Little Jimmy never did anything wrong, and that's just how it goes. And it was interesting how the note that I got back that was passed on to my boss through me said that you know, this little girl didn't do anything wrong, and it actually said, the mother said she believed the girl. Well, of course, it's your kid. You're always going to believe your own kid. And I had to stop for a minute, and it was very interesting because I was watching some YouTube stuff. Not all of it's good, but once in a while you run across some pretty inspirational things, and they were talking about doing your job, and I did a lot of thinking about that. And really focusing on doing my job correctly. And it's the mechanics of driving the bus and checking the brakes and sweeping it out and making sure you don't hit anything and being at the stops on time. That's the mechanics of the driving. But probably equal or greater part of the job is the interaction with all these kids. And I'm not judging any of the other drivers. I've never really been on any of the other drivers' buses. But when I started this, I made my mind up that this is my avenue and my portal for making a difference in the world. So, am I going to preach religion and politics and my thoughts? Of course not. That's not going to happen. But am I going to try to teach the kids integrity, honesty, kindness? Yep, I am. And if somebody doesn't like it, too bad. I believe that this stuff is so important, and I've never had anybody say, I don't want you to teach kindness on the bus. So it's like, I don't really have that problem. And I'm believing that these are the types of things that I think everybody knows this is what we want for the world and for our kids. And our kids are, when we're all gone, I mean, I'm 70 years old. I'm at the end of my life. It's not a bad thing, but I'm not going to be here forever. But I want to leave the legacy of my influence on these kids. I want to be able to give them something that they're going to remember. So anyways, I'm rambling along here. Sorry for that. So, you know, you get this note back from the mom, and these two little girls are fighting, and there's been some stuff going on, and now the mom and dad that I know from the one girl want to sue the other girl's parents and all this stuff. And I'm saying to myself, you got this all wrong, guys. Your kid is not innocent, but they're still a good kid. And it was interesting because in the note, the mom had written, it said that this little girl adored me. I think that's great. She looks up to me. Well, that means I've got her audience. I've got her attention. She believes me. And I think the parents do too. And I really had to do some soul searching, and I said, you know what? I do this for a living. I'm with kids all day long. And it was interesting because my boss got back and said that she decided she's going to call. We talked about it a little bit, me and my boss. And I said, no, I can tell. When I talked to the girl and confronted her about what she was doing and the actions that were going on between her and the other girl. So the other girl ratted her out, and she got mad, and they got into a fight, and there was a little physical fighting going on. It wasn't good. And I said, nope, I'm holding my ground here. I can tell when I talk to kids and they won't look at me and they look away and they're evasive, they're hiding something. And I'm trying to explain to the kids that as much as chewing gum on the bus is breaking the rules, the big thing is coming clean, being honest, and being accountable, and saying, yep, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have been chewing the gum. Sorry, Mr. John, or whoever, if they, let's say they did something to another kid. Sometimes they'll come and apologize to me, and I say, don't apologize to me. Go apologize to that other kid. That's the person you've offended, that you've wronged. That's what, that's what needs to be done. So I'm trying to give them the tools. And anyways, to circle back on this particular situation, it got pretty hairy, and there was talk about lawsuits, and the school was going to get involved. So they actually, our buses have cameras, as I explained before, throughout the bus on the inside, and someone came in and pulled the tape out of the bus to take it back to the school district to view it and all this kind of stuff. And I thought about it, and I went and I talked to my boss, and I said, nope, I'm not faltering a bit. I think I did the right thing. Yep, I think this child is being evasive. She's not coming clean, telling the truth. She's what I think the modern term now, I say gaslighting. Everybody uses that. Yeah, I think she's gaslighting her parents. And I think that I can see that. In fact, it was interesting is that the mom actually had voiced an opinion, some guilt feelings to my boss, that because she was working all the time, this is a working mom, and like a lot of parents, mom's working, dad's working, that she wasn't there for her child, so she feels partly responsible. Wait, this all happened while the kid's on the bus. Mom can't come on the bus. There's nothing you can do. While you're at work, I've got your kid. It really doesn't change a thing. So don't feel guilty. You're doing a great job. And if you can't be there when I let your child off in the afternoon, I think the grandparents were there, it doesn't matter. As long as you're there when I'm assuming you probably eat dinner together and you see them at night and you're done working, that's all that matters. You're just overthinking it. So anyways, bottom line was the child came up with this wild, exaggerated story about what happened on the bus, and the mom realized, my kid's gaslighting me. This isn't true. And then they talked to one of the teachers at the school and found out the same exact thing was happening. The child was being deceptive. She had a issue at school with chewing gum and probably candy and different things. And that tells me that the child is going through some things. I think this family recently moved to the area from another town. All these events have an effect on the kids. But I followed my gut and did what I felt was the professional thing to do. And boy, it worked out really good. The parents backed down. Everything works out really good. I had a talk with all the kids on the bus a few days later, let things calm down. The girl came back on the bus. I talked to both the girls and told the one girl not to worry about what the other girl was doing, and that the main thing is that they remain friends. They want to be friends. When the parents get involved in these situations, the parents tend to blow it out of proportion. It's kind of like when parents get involved when your kid is on a sports team, like a baseball team, and you've got the dad standing off to the side trying to tell the coach how to coach the team. No, let the coach do it. Stay out of it. Keep your mouth shut. Just sit and watch your kid play sports. My brother-in-law coached baseball for his son, and he said it was horrible. How the parents get all personal, and you're not playing my kid enough, and this and that. And don't do that. Teach the kids sportsmanship. That's what's important. It's not winning. It's not beating the other team. It's having fun and sportsmanship. But anyways, it worked out super good. Made me feel good. Yeah, there's drivers out there that are in our district that have been driving for 20 years. I've only driven for 3 years, so I say I've only driven for 3 years. Yeah, that's not a lot, but then it is a lot. 3 years, think about it. 3 years, 6 hours a day, most of the same kids. I know these kids, and I know kids. I keep seeing it over and over again. And I guess what I'm saying here is, one, do your job, like this one video that I watched that was talking about doing your job and doing it well. Doing your job well. I didn't take a shower yet this morning. I didn't shave, so if I look like I got a little shadow coming on, I felt that it was more important to make this video when I had the inspiration than it was to worry about the scene and the camera and all that stuff. So, you want honest content, you're getting it right now. But yeah, do your job and do it well, and that is my job. and it worked out really good. I'm super happy. I feel like I made progress. We did have a meeting with our bus garage. So I mentioned that the girl that drives next to me is leaving. We have a new person named Shannon. She's coming in. She's going to drive. I kidded her. I said, "You're going to be my wingman now." She's right next to me in the next bus. So when we line up at the school, but she's got kids. I think she's going to be great. And you know, all these bus drivers do things differently. I've had kids tell me that some of the bus drivers don't. I had one girl tell me, she goes, "Mr. John, you talk to us." I do. I love talking to the kids. When I get done and I pull up over at the grade school, I've got maybe 10-15 minutes where we have to wait for the school to tell us exactly at 7:15 or 8:15, whatever it is, to let the kids out. So they're in the bus, they're standing up, they're waiting at the door. There's a lot of interaction there. And I love talking to the kids. I just love it. I look forward to it every morning. How are you feeling? What are you going to do this weekend? What's new? Whose birthday is it on the bus? What's going on in school? And I know my kids pretty well. I can tell by looking at their faces how their day is going. Some of them are sad. I usually try to pull that out of them. What's going on? You look sad. Are you tired? Were you up late last night? Did you have any homework? Hey, let me see your project there you got. Sometimes they bring their artwork and their projects on the bus. I want to see it. Number one, I'm curious, but two, I want to boost these kids. I want to tell them. And some of the stuff is amazing. I see the artwork that I see, the talent. This is our future, guys. So, and I told you that on this channel there will never be any political stuff, but I'm going to change the world my way. And my way, it's my way or the highway. I've got my bus. I own my bus. Mr. John's bus is going to be the one that I hope that when these kids go out into the world, they make a difference. I just went by the high school the other day and they have a big sign, electric sign with different stuff on it. And there was some kids that two brothers that used to be on my bus when I first started, and they got their driver's license. They have a car now, so they don't drive. So I miss them. They were nice boys. But one of them just got an award for wrestling. He's on the wrestling team. And as I drove by, I went, "Hey, that's one of my guys. He was on my bus." So I take ownership of these kids. I'm proud of them. I've got a couple of girls on my bus that are in the Girl Scouts, and they sell Girl Scout cookies, and I know where they sell them. They sell them over at it's a Mancino's restaurant. So if I happen to be in town, I'm going to try to go over there, and I should not be eating cookies. I love cookies, but I should just buy the cookies. But I think it's cool. I was in the Boy Scouts, and that was an example that I explained to the kids about getting along. And I explained, because like I said, these little girls were fighting, that when I was a kid, I'm thinking back, it was a long time ago, probably in the 3rd grade, me and a boy at my school, and I went to very rigid Catholic schools, and there was a boy, we were on the playground, we had our bikes, and we were arguing about whatever, whose bike was cooler than the other kids. We got into a fight, and this kid beat me up pretty good. I'm not a fighter, so he got the best of me, and that really affected me. Do you know that years later in the 6th grade, that boy was the one that came to me and said, "Would you like to join the Boy Scouts? I'm in the Boy Scouts, it's great." He invited me into the Boy Scouts. We were friends, we remained friends in the Boy Scouts. If you're out there, You're still alive. Send me a note. I'm not going to say your name over the YouTube video, but his name was Bruce. That's all I'm going to say. But anyways, I wanted the kids to know that being friends is the most important thing. And I explained that the name of our bus, by the way, I have a name for the bus because I like names, is Milk Run Mabel. Milk Run Mabel. And you're probably, that's an odd name. Well, that is actually the name of a real World War II B-17 bomber that was shot down over Belgium. And you can look it up on Google. Milk Run Mabel. I have that sign up inside the bus. I'd show you, but I can't show you the inside of the bus right now. But it meant something to me because driving the kids is kind of like a milk run, like a milkman. It's, you go out and you pick up all the empty bottles and then you put new ones in and return them. It's like the same thing with the kids. I pick them up every day at their house. I take them to school, drop them off. I come back at 2 o'clock, pick them all up, take them back, drop them all off at their individual homes, and I do it every single day. So it's kind of like Groundhog Day. It goes over and over again. The part that's different, the driving part's the same. Go down the same road, they live in the same house. The interaction part is what's going on in their lives. So I happen to be one of those drivers that I like being involved with my kids. It would probably be easier to just drive the bus, and just get through it like a job. I look forward to going to my job every day. This is cool. So I don't have to do this. I choose to do this in my retirement years. For me, it's very fulfilling, but again, I want to make a mark on it. Rob the Maritimer, again, I'm going to give you some credit, Rob. You talked also about privacy. So that's an interesting one. He said, is there a concern when you make YouTube videos that you might be recognized or someone might see you in the street and go, hey, you're, I know you're Mr. John, the bus driver guy, or, if I saw you on a YouTube channel. They might. I'm not going to do anything I'm not proud of, or my wife right now doesn't want to be in the video, and I think she gets a little nervous sometimes when I do videos of around our house, but she's getting used to it. I'm not really worried about it. I think the main thing is that I don't want to get into any controversial stuff, so I'm not trying to force my opinion on anybody. I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that most people are okay with the opinion of being kind is good, being honest is good, having integrity is good. I'm going to take my chances. I'm riding on the edge here, guys. I'm joking, but I'm saying, yeah, it's what I feel. I feel so strongly about it. But am I going to try to push my religious beliefs on you? I am not. I do believe in God, and I am a Christian, and that part I'm proud of. But, I respect everybody else's religion and beliefs, and I want to give the kids something. But Rob talked about this privacy thing, and I think it's a legitimate thing. My wife has a relative that has a YouTube channel, and I talked to him at a Christmas party, and he's probably one of the few people in my family that I actually revealed that I had a channel. I made him swear he wouldn't tell anybody, because I agree, you shouldn't tell your family and friends you have a YouTube channel. Just let the outside world find out and go from there. But I said, and he does one, he's never in the videos. And he said, no, I very private person, I don't want to do it, and I didn't even expect that, because I said, maybe we could do a live stream together, and I don't think that's going to happen. I respect that. That's cool. Just like I respect the fact that, right now my wife doesn't want to really be in the videos. She might be into them in the future, with her stuff. She gets into natural healing stuff, medicines and tinctures and extracts, and she's getting into using tallow and some really cool stuff. Very popular, it helps people, so that's pretty cool. But anyways, so yeah, all good today. It's Sunday. My wife's home. I'm glad she's back. I don't like it when she's gone. Even Daisy, our dog, she misses Laura. So, yep, Mama's home and everything is good. So yeah, Sunday, spring's right around the corner. I'm probably going to go out in the barn today. They've been out there in a long time. Maybe I'll start a little fire, get it kind of warmed up. And straighten things out. I need to put a bunch of tools away. I haven't really been out in the barn in a long time. I've got a new amplifier karaoke mixer box I got to hook up. I'm going to hopefully get my son-in-law to help me out with a few things. I want to buy a few musical instruments and kind of play around with some things. So I'm kind of looking at that. My wife's going to think I'm crazy because I always have stuff going. And springtime is right around the corner. When my wife was gone for a couple days, I got to come clean here on YouTube. I went and picked up a pizza, kind of went off my diet. So that's my confession. Just like the little girl on the bus, I tell them to come clean. I'm coming clean now. I had some pizza. I didn't stay with my low carb diet and ate a few cookies here and there, but that's okay. So have a great week. Spring's around the corner. Hope the best for everybody. If you like my videos, subscribe. I'm telling you, put some comments in there. I'm open to anything. Criticisms, helpful hints, questions about anything. And I'll see you on the next one. Adios.